Welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, kids, everyone. Andy McEwen, it's been hot today. My watch has decided to give up the ghost and turn itself off. It's actually not that hot, but it feels hot. It's only like 21 degrees, isn't it?
You can tell we're British, can't we? Honestly, we get 2 warm race meetings in a row, and that's it. We're all out of here. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's summer. It's nice and sunny, and the fans here have been loving it as well. It's perfect day for racing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we've had hotter days than this, and that can be a big problem. A lot of drivers in the TCR series looking a bit hot and bothered in that last race, and also a lot of windows down as well, so not too sure how the Civic guys will find it, but their race is a little bit shorter, but they'll still feel it, won't they?
Oh, absolutely. Spend 15 minutes in these cars and you're going to feel it. So, especially the hard work they have to do. We saw in race 1 for the Civic Cup just how close it was, you know, and when it's that close, it's not necessarily overtaking at every corner, but one small mistake, you could lose 3 or 4 places. So the pressure on them not to make that mistake only adds to the intensity of it all. So they're going to have to work hard. Obviously, reverse grid again this time as well. So we shuffle the grid up, we put some of the quick guys towards the back of the top 10, and guaranteed excitement.
Yeah, defo. Who are we looking for? Can we see Luff come through? Can we see Camp come through? What can you see happening?
Yeah, so Matt's going to want to outscore Alistair in this race, definitely. He did well, actually, Matt, in the previous race. Started 5th, managed to finish in 3rd place. He was the fastest driver on the track through most of that race, but he missed a gear, we believe, when he just caught up to the leaders, missed a gear, dropped 2 seconds, and never was really able to recover from that. Whereas now he's starting 2 places ahead of Alistair with the reversed grid. And Matt's good at making moves early on, whereas Alistair sometimes sits back, lets the race come to him. Matt will just go for it, gain some places, put cars between them. He's only about 8 or 9 points behind in the championship, so good result here for Matt, and he's going to close the gap right back up.
Yeah, a couple of not nice incidents in the race itself. It was a shame. A couple of badly damaged cars. I mean, George Williams, that car looks... I don't know if he'll get out for the rest of the year, you know.
It's doubtful, certainly with that car, and I think then it comes down to budget. Can he afford to get a new shell together? And that's not something that these drivers can just click the fingers and make happen. So I really hope he can. You know, if there's anyone out there can help him get on the grid, he deserves it. He's won races before, he's been on the podium before, he's a nice lad as well, and didn't deserve it, just stalled on the line and unfortunately paid a big price for it. The main news is that he is okay. He's hurt his back. We think he already had a bit of a back injury previously, which is aggravated, but he's basically okay, and yeah, we wish him well.
Yeah, definitely fast enough, and he should be out there, like you say. Some of the cars are they're actually on the move in a second. I think I can hear the engines all revving up. So yeah, assembly area, they'll go to the grid. There'll be a few nerves about, won't there?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's a nerve-wracking time, this, and I think you know, the drivers, as they get out on the grid there, they'll just want to get going with the race, that's for sure. I want to get going with the race. I can't wait for it.
You want to get out on that grid? Come on then. Right, cool. This will be quite cool because we're having a clap. How's your day been?
All right.
How's your day been?
All right, great. 59 years at it.
Well, what, the marshalling?
Yeah.
Oh, that's something else in my language, that. Good lad. 59 years at it. Good lad. It's top man, him, actually. I was speaking to him a bit before. Right, look at this for a grid. Mervyn Beckett. Where's Andy gone? Has he gone? Oh, he's gone back to the comms box. Anyway, right, I can feel the nerves already. Let's have a quick word with the Beckmeister. Now then, Merv, mate, what a return.
Yeah, great fun. I didn't expect to quite be here, but a bit nerve-wracking with all the top guys behind me. But yeah, looking forward to it. Just flat out, see how it goes.
Love it, mate. Listen, I'm not going to take your time, so no, you need to focus, lad. Right, I wish Mervyn Beckett all the best because he's a proper good lad. Right, there's a real interesting look at this grid, isn't there? And Mr. Norris here. What a grid we've got, mate. I mean, literally, there's no one there. The safety car won't be there when you line back up.
Thankfully, yeah. It's probably quite fast in that, though.
You're pretty nervous? You're mad for it? You want to win?
The car's slightly poorly, so hopefully the car will be okay. But reality, I'm only going backwards here probably, but I haven't got the experience in these cars. But I'm looking to have a good race, a bit of fun. That's the important thing.
Top man, listen, I'll let you focus. Good luck. Good luck. It's good to see a reverse grid. We like that. A few cars remaining. Oh, let's go and have a look at... Let's go and quickly speak to Mackie. Oh, actually, no, we've got to go. We've got to go. Sorry. So that waving marshaller saying, get out the way because we're going to start the race. Yeah, it was like a football match whistle, that, wasn't it? Yeah, they're definitely on the way. We better go. Anyway. Sounds like my ex-missus. Andy, you're in the comms box. See you in a minute.
Good race weekend? Yeah, very good weekend. Quite a pace that time.
You sure? Ah. Was it already on? Yeah.
For voice and data solutions at speeds that are simply out of this world, choose Maximum Networks.
So, cars out on their green flag lap then for the second race of the day here in the Milltek Sports Civic Cup. We flipped the top 10 finishers from race 1 to give us the grid for this race. And as Paul was saying, Mervyn Beckett it is who has the pole position alongside Simon Norris in the guest car for the Pro Alloys squad. Dean McDonald and Harvey Kane make up row 2 ahead of Will Redford and Morgan Bailey on row number 3. Then it's Rob Butler and Matt Luff on the 4th row together. Matt Luff, championship contender, of course, looking to try and make some forward progress from the 4th row. And you will have the Irishman Rob Butler alongside him. And there you can see them on that 4th row together. Then it's Dan Thackeray and Alistair Camp, the points leader, Alistair Camp, the reigning champ, coming from the back of the top 10 this time. Matthew Cripps, Jeff Oulton are next. Decent result that from Jeff Oulton, finishing in 12th place ahead of Travis Coyne and Ryan Bensley, hopefully. I don't actually know if Ryan's out there. No, I didn't think he would be with the damage that he had from the earlier race. Simon Welch then and Mark Hughes are next. We also, of course, have the reverse grid in the production class as well. So Welch ahead of Hughes, ahead of Hounsell, ahead of Jenkins. The top 2 in the production class in the earlier race together there at the back of the production grid. So the red Civic of Mervyn Beckett lining up on pole position, the fluorescent yellow Pro Alloys machine ahead, but there you can see our championship leader Alistair Camp coming through, the silver, pink and yellow number 1 car, a couple of places ahead of him. We have got Matt Luff, number 72, and yeah, confirmation then that we are missing number 5, George Art Williams, we kind of guessed that, number 14, Ryan Bensley, and 99, Dave Marshall. So those 3 cars damaged in race 1, but thankfully we believe it is the cars that are damaged rather than the drivers, but not able to get out on the grid for the second race. So 15 minutes of racing then to round out the day here from Castle Combe, and these reverse grid races, it's the early laps that are so important to try and make a break or get through the pack as soon as you can. 5-second board then is raised. Beckett on pole, alongside him is Simon Norris with Dean McDonald and Harvey Caton on row 2. The red lights go on. Oh, a bit of a jump there from Morgan Bailey. I reckon that's almost certainly going to get picked up by the clerk of the course, but as the race gets underway, it is going to be Mervyn Beckett from pole position who leads them towards Avon Rice for the first time. Harvey Caton there going around the outside of Simon Norris. To the inside of him goes Dean McDonald. They're 3 wide briefly for second place, and Harvey Caton trying to go right round the outside to break into second place on his own as they hit the brakes at Quarry for the first time. He's a bit loose under braking, but he has gone through. Will Redford is in the mix as well around the outside for 3rd. Let's hope they all get through in one piece. Looks like they will do. Towards the S's they go. Beckett leads, but Harvey Caton in second.
Yeah, and this could be a good one for him, because remember what happened? Oulton Power got shuffled down the order from starting so high up last time, and he really got dealt a horrible card. So hopefully he gets his head down, but he's got a lot of fast people trying to come through here.
I reckon Alistair Camp's lost places from the start. I think he's out of the top 10 now. Matt Luff's not done much better, so that could be big from a championship perspective. There are a few cars now between them, and indeed Matt Luff there. Oh, right round the outside goes Alistair Camp in that big group. He's almost off the track, but he's actually level briefly with Luff there. That was a committed move.
Yeah, it was, but it worked out badly for him, to be honest, because he nearly went on the grass and lost it. But the battle for lead is massively hotting up, and look at that, is that Luff?
No, it's Camp. He was on the grass at the Bobbies, wasn't he? So saved it at Tower, but then went off at the next corner.
So early doors, early problems. Harvey Caton is looking super quick. He looks like he could have the run here, looking to stay in that slip. It looks like he's down the inside. Oh, car's getting pushed across the track, and look at Harvey. Oh. Bang, into the side. Nothing wrong with that. On the grass, on the pass. That's proper. 3 wide for the lead.
Oh, Will Redford to the outside. Oh, backs out of it. No, he gets into the back of Mervyn Beckett, who's sideways. He's around. He's pointing the wrong way in the middle of the road. Let's hope they all miss him. Oh, either side they go. go. How was that not a humongous accident? Well done, all the drivers coming through behind. Louis Hounsell, that is, out wide on the grass, but that was a bit of contact, I think, from possibly Will Redford behind. It is Caton that leads, Redford second, Bailey third, and Butler fourth.
Yeah, Butler headlights on, and in the silver car looking rapid. Thackeray in the 29 putting a move there on somebody, but your new leader, Harvey Caton, really young. Oh, he's going to end up turning across the front, be careful. And I tell you what, that was very close, and Redford could have had 2 bits of contact with 2 different cars, and Morgan Bailey is lurking.
We have got a race on our hands, ladies and gents, because Harvey Caton is not going to let Will Redford through without a fight. They're both looking for their first ever victory in the championship, and with his headlights on, the silver car in fourth is Rob Butler, and he has come through from 7th on the grid to 4th through all of those early shenanigans, and he's going to be after the leading 3, that is for sure. Through they go then. Caton leads, 2nd Redford, 3rd Bailey, 4th is Rob Butler. Fastest lap for Harvey Caton for the time being, but as things settle down, we will see the pace improve. Now, one of the championship rivals, but Alistair Camp, crucially, is ahead of Matt Luff, so 8th place for Camp, 9th for Luff, as Caton again is locking up at Quarry.
Yeah, difficult corner that for these front-wheel drive cars. The right rear just locking over that crest where it's lit, and you can see that Redford flashing his brake lights with his left foot because he's already got pad knockoff. The pad's coming away from the disc, and look at the wideness there. Harvey in the lead, nearly understeers off the track, and now Redford's back on his case, and Morgan Bailey is looking like the man that wants to get to the front of this pack.
Because he can see Butler coming closer and closer behind him. Rob Butler at the start of the lap was 1.3 seconds behind Morgan Bailey. He isn't now. Harvey Caton out wide through Tower Corner there slightly. Then it's Simon Norris, still 5th actually, ahead of Dan Thackeray, Dean McDonald, Alistair Camp and Matt Luff in that second pack of cars, making their way towards Bobby's now for the 3rd time. Bit sideways there from number 71 of Norris, but he holds onto the position, holds onto the car, and at the back of that group is the fight between the top 2 championship runners. Alistair Camp still just ahead of Matt Luff.
All going off, isn't it? All going off, and look at Thackeray. He doesn't give up, does he? Doesn't matter what place he's battling for. This is 5th with Norris, and he really doesn't give you an inch, does he? Very fair, but so firm.
Yeah, getting right onto the rear bumper of Simon Norris, so that if there is a mistake from Simon, he can pounce immediately. Production, by the way, Louis Hounsell, despite a grassy moment on the first lap, is leading that class from Alfie Jenkins 2nd, Mark Hughes 3rd, and Simon Welch in 4th position, except they've just swapped actually as they went across the line. Overall race leaders at the front of the field though, and Harvey Caton, is it me, Paul, or is he getting away a bit now?
He's getting away a bit because Morgan Bailey's putting big pressure on Redford as they go through the S's, and this is where they've got to be very careful because you can just run so wide on that exit curb. Get track limits or run on the grass, and I think that was Norris going through shot. He is really trying to push on because Thackeray is all over him.
Yeah, that 71 car we've seen winning races with other drivers this year, so we know it's a quick car, and Simon Norris is going to have to find all of the speed in it to keep this hungry pack of wolves behind him. Thackeray, McDonald, Camp and Luff all line astern, with Mervyn Beckett still 10th actually, lucky to still be in the race after that moment at Quarry a few laps ago.
He was so lucky. I held my breath then because over that crest, you know how fast that is, and you're unsighted. There was hopefully wave jealous there, but it doesn't matter because if you've got a car in front of you and you can't see a move, I tell you what, that was a lucky back out. Look what's happened now. Everyone's all over him. Luff and Camp involved now. Someone having a moment on the way in. Oh, it's bunched up.
Oh, Camp up the inside of McDonald this is then. So somehow Norris and Thackeray stay at the front of that group, but Matt Luff being pushed through by his teammates. And championship adversary Matt Luff around the outside there. That was a wide moment for Harvey Caton. Redford up the inside. There might have been a touch on the exit of the corner. It's side by side for the lead of the race. Will Redford on the inside line into the S's, but Caton's not going to back down. Goes in wide. Oh, into the back of Redford. Off the road they go. Redford is sideways. Caton, they somehow save it, do they? Oh, maybe. Yes, they do get it together, but that will hand the advantage now surely to Morgan Bailey. With Butler second, you could see that coming.
Yeah, that was a shame, wasn't it? Just looked like it was a bit too late on the brakes, maybe for Caton, maybe a long pedal, but anyway, it's ended with contact and 2 of those guys tumbling down the order. Morgan Bailey will just be thinking, thank you very much.
Yes, in that second pack, by the way, Camp and Luff did both get past Dean McDonald, so they both gained some positions. Leader's about to come into the final corner. Before it all kicks off again, let's see if we can take another look at that then. Paul, you can maybe talk us through this.
Yeah, so it was Caton on the right-hand side in the 54. Redford looks like he's got job done. Caton doesn't want to know. He can't get the car stopped. He takes to the grass, takes to the bump. the bump or the curb just makes the car lift up, and look at that car control there. That was proper stuff. He was dead lucky, Redford, to get away with that. But yeah, I think Caton maybe should have just thought better of trying to keep hold of that round the outside.
Caton did not come through that lap either, so yeah, there he is, he's pulled off. There'll be damage to the right front corner there, surely.
Yeah, that's a real shame. So he's having a great race, but the rears kept locking up and he couldn't do anything about it. Two teammates, the area guys, are having it. Luff and Camp.
Oh yeah, Luff's up the inside of Camp. Look, that's significant, and he's gone through as well. Nicely done. So Matt Luff gets
Bailey.
Oh, Morgan Bailey, the race leader, is slow. Well spotted, Paul. Morgan Bailey pulling off at the side of the road. Well, there might have been question marks over the start of the race for him, but now, unfortunately, it matters little. He is out.
Wow, Butler's come through. Then look at that, unbelievable. Norris still hanging on, isn't he? He's really hanging on. Thackeray has got no answer.
Right then, okay, I'm not mentioning Rob Butler for the rest of the race after my faux pas with Shepherd earlier on, but he is in the lead. That's the last I will say of him. Second place then is going to be Will Redford somehow after that massive save a few laps ago at the chicane, but the safety car is coming out. No, that's a disaster for Rob Butler, and in fairness for Redford, because this lot will all close in.
Yeah, this has really given everyone else a chance, isn't it? And yeah, the Castle Combe Honda safety car out on track, and that'll be for maybe Caton in a dangerous place, and Bailey is also off. Bailey's smoking, so maybe they've maybe seen the smoke. Is that coming from the tyre or the wheel? And that's another good thing about the Recticel barrier. You can fall over and bounce off it.
Yes, indeed. And that marshal will thank us, I'm sure, for cutting to this camera at exactly that moment. So the marshals continuing their hard work today. They've had a few incidents. As a marshal, volunteering here at Castle Combe, and you'll know this, Paul, you don't know where you're going to be posted around the circuit. When you hear you're going to be at Quarry Corner, you know you're going to have a busy day ahead of you.
Exactly that. I mean, it's a high, you know, you're taking your life in your own hands, just, you know, driving around a racetrack. But the other thing as well is if you're a marshal and you're at a high-speed corner like that, it's a total nightmare. And yeah, they've been busy today, actually, haven't they?
Yes, they always are. There's a reason the crowd congregates at Quarry Corner, because there's always action. My word, they've had their fair share of it in this race. Right, let's take stock, shall we? Because we're just into the second half of the race now, under the safety car period. Rob Butler, who did have a handy lead over Will Redford, that lead now disappears completely. He leads then Redford second, third for Simon Norris, who's been up and down like a yo-yo in this race. Fourth, Dan Thackeray, then the championship leaders, Matt Luff fifth and Alistair Camp in sixth. That was a well-timed move for Matt Luff, if nothing else, to get ahead of Alistair just before the safety car came out. Dean McDonald is seventh, Mervyn Beckett is eighth, Matthew Cripps is ninth, and Travis Coyne rounds out the top 10. In production, it is Louis Hounsell, who is just coming towards us now in the 28 car, who leads. Alfie Jakins in second place, and Louis Hounsell just slowly sort of chipping away at that championship advantage. Lights out already, so one lap behind the safety car, and we're going to have a 5-minute dash for the win.
Right then, fasten your seatbelts on and hold on, because this is where it's going to get tasty.
Oh, Simon Norris was not ready for that, was he? So Simon Norris very slow indeed at the restart, but look at Redford now. Paul, surely the left rear corner of Will Redford's car cannot be as Dave Bucky's team prepared it before the race after that whack. Has he got an answer here, do you think, for Butler?
Maybe. I mean, it has got, look at that. You can see the bumper hanging off already. What's that? Front right? That's a big problem. What, is it just a bit of rubbing bodywork? But Thackeray's going to see that. And that was weird. It was in a straight line. It wasn't in any compression. Yeah, that's interesting. If he sees that, Dan's going to really want to have that in the 29. You can see he's dropping back a bit now.
Yeah, tyre's still up, so it's not a puncture, but you're right, that was a little bit odd. But anyway, he's certainly under pressure here, Simon Norris. Thackeray, Luff and Camp right behind him. The leading two starting to Scarborough. As a result, out wide goes Thackeray, and Matt Luff knows this is his chance. Matt Luff, ex-Mazda MX-5 racer, looking now to try and get himself ahead of Dan Thackeray. He's flashing the lights at him. He's trying to force another mistake out of the number 29 car. They head towards Tower Corner. Does he have a peek to the inside? He does not. They go past the stricken car of Harvey Caton. And this battle for third place now looks to be where most of the action is, because at the front I think Rob Butler does have the measure of the possibly wounded Will Redford, but if Simon Norris can keep this lot behind him for third place, that would be quite the effort.
Yeah, that would be quite something, wouldn't it? It's going to be a big effort, that, because there are the cars that are a bit badly damaged, aren't they? We don't know what's wrong with the 71, but Norris definitely, some weird smoke come out of that car. I've not seen it again, but he's not oh wow, is that Campy?
Yeah.
Wow, Campy's really trying, but Norris is hanging on here, and this is where we got the smoke last time. Was it in a compression? No, weird. Might have been a catch tank, could have been a bit of oil. look how close Thackeray is. He really is pushing on now.
And he's looking to the inside, but of course he's got Matt Luff hunting around to his outside. Now can Matt go right round the outside of him? Thackeray boxed in a bit behind Simon Norris. Is Luff still there? Luff is still there, but surely doesn't want to go right round the outside and needs to be careful not to let Alistair Camp through. Camp in the number 1 car will want to fill that gap. To the outside goes Luff. It's where it all went wrong before for Harvey Kane, but that is how you do it. They are still door to door and Camp is off in the background, losing another place.
What's going on with Camp? He's having a nightmare in this race. The car just looks all over the place. He's on the grass. It's nowhere on the racing line. It's just all over the shop. Thackeray, though, has really got his hands full here, because Luff will be looking for every way past, and he's got the speed and he's got the car to do it. Look at that apex speed he's catching.
Yeah, Luff knows he can still get a podium here, because there Simon Norris is not getting that much further away from them as they battle. Through towards the end of the race we go. 3 minutes to go. Will Redford, to be fair, is still matching Rob Butler up in front. That gap is still well under a second as they come through at the end of lap number 9. The fight for 4th place, though, comes through Camp Corner now, and Matt Luff with a good exit from here and a nice slipstream. They reckon the slipstream is worth about 2 to 3 tenths on the run just up Avon Rise itself. So Luff was within a couple of tenths of Thackeray heading up the hill and might just try and get to the inside into the braking zone at the top of Avon Rise into Quarry Corner. Bit of a lock-up for Luff. Big lock-up actually for Luff there. Just that unweighted tyre. Looks to the outside, tries to get the switch back. Absolutely beautifully done from Matt Luff. There was barely a Civic's width on the inside, but he manages to fill that gap. He's got the preferred line this time into the S's. He carries more speed in. That was a textbook switchback.
Yeah, proper job that, isn't it? Proper job. His car's working so well, and Luff in that 72. Next up is Norris, and I've got a feeling he might make it easier to do than Dan did.
Let's see. I mean, Simon Norris wants the podium, doesn't he, if he can get it? And Matt Luff has to weigh up risk versus reward here. He's ahead of Alistair Camp. He's ahead of him by a few places, actually. And if Simon Norris is going to come over all fighty for this 3rd place, maybe it's not worth it. But there's no doubt who the quicker of the two is. Norris's car not handling particularly well through Bobby's there. Bit of opposite lock as he got on the power. And you can see the way that Matt Luff is closing on him and getting away from Thackeray already.
Yeah, definitely, and this is where it is now. So look at this, Luff on the back. He knows he has to get the apex right. He's right into the back of Norris. Norris defends already, people on the grass on the exit, but it's going to all be about how he gets up and over into Quarry and break. Can he? If he makes him defend too early, then he can maybe try and get switch back on him. What's it going to be? Round to the outside. Oh, he's touched the grass with his left rear. Both rears locking up in his car. Runs a touch wide, and Norris gets the drive out, and he can't do anything about it, Luff. But look at this now. This is really concertinaing up.
He might try and go around the outside again, you know. He might be a bit more confident under braking. No, ducks back in line behind. That was sensible. Doesn't want to allow Dan Thackeray the opportunity to get back up the inside line. We are on what should be, I think, the final lap of the race. I have to say, we might squeeze one more in, Paul reckons, at the end of this one. We shall see. It's going to be tight, isn't it? 40 seconds left. Matt Luff taking to the grass as they head through Hammer Down into Tower Corner. And, Thackeray sideways behind. Matt Luff still stuck in behind Simon Norris, though. And Alistair Camp can't do anything to get back ahead of Dean McDonald.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and Norris is doing a great job at keeping Luff behind here.
He is, isn't he? There's been damage actually to the back of Simon Norris's car, I think, and that's probably as a result of a bit of pushing and shoving from someone behind him. Not Matt Luff, I don't think. The front of Luff's car is nice and clean. The Area Motorsport machine comes out of the final corner, and here we are going to squeeze one more lap in. You're absolutely right. Up the hill they go. One more chance to attack maybe into Quarry Corner for Matt, but he's not quite as close as he has been on previous laps. He'll want, ideally, to force Simon Norris to defend the inside line. Then he can get that switchback move that he managed a couple of laps ago. Oh, instead he goes to the inside, rattles down the side of Norris's car. He's sideways, he doesn't get through, probably for the best, to be fair. And out wide goes Thackeray. They're all wide in the background. That was close to disaster.
It was, but I've got to say, Luff looked like he didn't want to turn him round, and he'd come out of that. He didn't want a penalty. He'd rather take that 4th place, and that's game over. And that is great driving from Norris, because that could have been a big accident.
And Luff, to be fair, as you say, to get out of that in a way that meant that he didn't spin Simon Norris round was pretty impressive. Rob Butler leads the way. Not going to start waxing lyrical just yet. He's got a few more corners to get through. Will Redford trying his best to give chase. He's done well to hang on to 2nd place in that battered Kinetic Motorsport car. And is it then going to be 3 different teams in the top 3? Well, it will be anyway, because it doesn't look like Simon Norris is going to get through. Into the final corner goes Rob Butler. Deep breath. Through the last corner goes Rob Butler, and now I can say that Rob Butler is a race winner in the Milltek Sports Civic Cup. That is going to be one of the most popular victories of the season for any driver after the disastrous fortune that he's had so far this year. A really impressive second place for Will Redford as well, and Simon Norris with a hard-fought third there. Matt Luff will be happy with fourth, Dan Thackeray in fifth position with McDonald, Camp, Cripps, Coyne and Beckett to round out the top 10 with Louis Hounsell, Paul, the winner in the production class.
Absolutely outstanding stuff, wasn't there? There was a little bit of contact here and there. The car's just running wide to pick up the dust, but I think Luffy is trying to say sorry there to Simon Norris, because, yeah, if it was anyone else, I think Luffy might have just kept his foot in and gone, well, it turned across me, mate. But that was really nice stuff, that was, because that could have ended quite badly. So good stuff, made up for Butler. Yeah, not bad that, mate. Not bad day.
Driver of the day, Rob Butler, because not just because of that race and the feel-good story, he was a really strong fourth in race one as well. So my vote for the Cohort Sport Driver of the Day goes to Rob. I don't know if you've got an opinion on that, Paul.
Yeah, my thumbs are up, mate, definitely for Rob. I think he's done a great job, and it's good to see him back in the championship, mate. He's a quick guy, and this is where he belongs. Proper stuff.
Absolutely, a quick guy, a nice guy as well. And Joey's kept a smile on his face even through the trials and tribulations that he's had so far this season. And that takes some doing, actually, because motorsport is it's a tough sport, it's an expensive sport, and it becomes more expensive the worse you're doing in it. So the bad luck he's had, the money they've had to spend to get the car sorted after its various mechanical issues, this is a really great reward for Rob Butler and the Irishman, who recently welcomed a son into the world as well, which I didn't realise until today, earlier on in the year. Things just starting now to come good for driver of car number 74, and Rob Butler back where he belongs on the top step of the podium. Will Redford, a big shout out to him as well. Will Redford arguably could have won that race, actually. If Harvey Caton hadn't collided with him at the chicane, then I think Redford might have been able to escape, but that obviously sent him sideways, maybe hampered the car a little bit, although he kept pace reasonably well with Rob Butler. The eventual winning margin was only 1.1 seconds in the end, but Will Redford, strong effort there from him and the Kinetic Motorsport squad, and the Pro Alloys racing machine of Simon Norris in third. I mean, that was reminiscent actually of Alex Lee's fight in the TCR race earlier on, hanging on to third in a car that clearly wasn't handling all that well. So Butler wins, Redford second, Norris third, Matt Luff in fourth, gets some points back now on Alistair Camp, with Thackeray fifth, McDonald sixth, and Alistair only managing a seventh placed finish. Eighth position for Matthew Cripps, and Travis Coyne rounds out the top 9, with then top 10 actually rounded out by Mervyn Beckett. Then it's Hillman and Oulton. Louis Hounsell gets another win in the production class ahead of Alfie Jenkins, Mark Hughes and Simon Welch, with Morgan Bailey a non-finisher, so too Harvey Caton, George Williams and Max Edmondson, both non-starters after their travails earlier on. Edmondson a blown engine in qualifying, and of course George Williams, that hefty start line shunt with Dave Marshall in the beginning of race number 1. So, championship-wise, a fourth place finish for Matt Luff. That, by my reckoning, is 18 points going his way. And Alistair Camp only managing 7th position. So that is going to be, I reckon, 16, 14, 12 points, I think, for him. So that, I think, gets the gap back down to about 5 points now between the two of them. Very, very close indeed between those two. Morgan Bailey's non-finish will probably promote Dan Thackeray to third in the championship now as well, but there's some way adrift of those top two. It once again looks like being the Camp and Luff show for the 2022 championship, as it was last year. Went right down to a slightly contentious final round of the championship, with Matt Luff on the receiving end of some penalties in the end at Snetterton, but certainly getting involved in some contact at Snetterton anyway. I'm sure he'll not be wanting to repeat that, and as Paul said, a classy moment there for him when he got up the inside of Simon Norris, clearly not in the manner in which he wanted to get up the inside of Simon Norris. He did a really good job to avoid turning the Pro Alloys car around, and backed off, and I think accepted then that fourth was going to be the place he wanted. I'm not even convinced that Matt was trying to overtake Simon, actually. I think he just had a moment going into the corner and sort of went to the inside in avoidance almost. But we'll hear from Simon Norris, get his side of the story in a moment or two, because he will be down there on the podium with Paul, who will hopefully very shortly be catching up with also Will Redford in second and Rob Butler, the race winner. That's Butler's first podium of the year. It is Redford's second of the season, I believe, third of the season, excuse me, had 2 at Brands Hatch, where he was awarded the Cold Sport Driver of the Day. And they That means that Will Redford is also going to creep up perhaps into the top half dozen in the points now, because yes, he will. Jack Harding, who Redford was 8th in the points, Harding was 7th and didn't race here at Castle Combe. Ryan Bensley was 6th and didn't score from Castle Combe, and George Williams 5th didn't as well. So it looks like definitely Will Redford will move a few places in the championship. Right, podium incoming then, all the reaction from an exciting race in a few minutes' time. But in the meantime, we'll take a very short break here from Castle Combe. Don't go anywhere though, podium celebrations coming up.
For voice and data solutions at speeds that are simply out of this world, choose Maximum Networks.
Milltek Sport Civic Cup, that was pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. Rob Butler, when he finally gets here into Parc Fermé, that was a very tasty win for him. Good to see, actually, with all the dramas he's had in different championships. As you can hear, the race cars are still trying to be put away. Lots going on in that race. Fantastic. It was good, hard racing, couple of moves that some of the drivers will be a bit gutted about, but that's just one of those things when you're racing hard and you're bouncing off curbs as well. So Harvey Caton in one of those situations where just tried to hang it round the outside a bit too much of Will Redford. But anyway, one of them things. Let's quickly go and speak to Stuart Lines, who is the promoter, the championship organiser of TCR UK and the Milltek Sport Civic Cup, as I think some of the drivers are coming in, aren't they? These boys put on a show, don't they?
Oh yeah, it was good. The race for third was immense. I mean, the lad in the yellow car, I think the new lad who's the guest driver, I mean, he had a stellar day today. I mean, he's come in from, I mean, I've never heard of him, but he's just flying, wasn't he? Yeah. So. Simon
Norris, that's him there, isn't it, in the 71, the bright yellow car. As all the drivers come in, I'll go and speak to them now, mate. Thank you for that. Awesome. Right, let's get them all parked up. Look at that. He's had a cracker, isn't he? Absolute cracker. Right, let's go and speak to the race winner. Geez, state of your car, Phil. That's a nightmare, mate. Where's he gone? Oh, he's over there. I'll just go and speak to Robbie Butler first, mate. But, wow, I don't know how you hang on to that. Bobby Butler, well done, mate. Quick interview. Top work, mate. I'm so happy for you because I know how hard it is to go racing. And that was a good one, mate.
That was, yeah. Look, it was... it's been a difficult year, you know, in terms of results, and you know, we worked hard with Rob at Area Motorsport, and Tyler, a mechanic, and Josh, who's been on the car as well. And you know, we've made this a fast race car. We had a good car in race 1, but knocked the tracking out over hitting a curb too hard. So in that one, I made sure I didn't. And look, once it kind of fell my way, but I've had more bad luck in this sport than good luck, so it's nice to have an easy one.
Top man. Well, it's been a great day, and it's been good to see you up there. And you were our co-ord sport driver of the day, actually.
Thank you.
Well done, mate. Spot on. Thank Andy McEwen as well. Well done.
Yeah.
Spot on, geezer. Right. Where's William gone? Where's William? Willie, come on, fella. Let's get your sponsors in. Mate, is there a straight panel left on your car?
No is the short answer. It took a batter in that race, but it's still running, it's still working, and you know, it's finished second, so it can't be that bad.
Did it knock anything out? Did the car feel different? Because it was quite a hit that you had off Harvey. It just looked like he hung on to the corner too much, and then he bounced across the curb and clattered you. It just looked like a bit clumsy, to be honest.
Yeah, so we went side by side into the chicane, and he was a bit late on the brakes, so he's trying to keep it round the outside, and he still tried to make the corner when it was a bit too late, and he obviously hit my rear quarter, and I hate for it to end like that. You know, we've come from Saxos together, we've never had any contact racing each other, and it's taken him out of the race. But you know, my car was a bit bent after that. If you look at the rear wheel, you can maybe see it on the camera, but it's a little bit bent towards the outside.
Oh, yeah.
My steering was off about this much down the straight, so it wasn't handling great, but lucky enough I had Simon behind who was holding them up for me, so I was able to keep going and keep second place.
Top man. Well, you finished, mate, and fair play. I tell you what, you were Kanken, and you probably never heard of him, 'cause you're too young, would have been delighted with that slide you had, mate. That was full on. You proper held that one.
Yeah, I just planted my foot and it saved it. But you know, thanks to the team, thanks to my sponsors for obviously getting me to this place, and I'm hoping for more next round.
Top man. VTech saves the day. Well done. Simon Norris, you absolute ledge, mate. You drove like a hero.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. In some ways I enjoyed it, in other days I absolutely hated it. So car was poorly, it's not right at all, but I just defending for my all my life's worth, really. Some fast guys behind me, big train, but they've got to get past, haven't they? So
that was good, mate. Good to see. The best bit of the day, Stuart Lyons. Do you know him that much?
not at all, no. Is he the series owner?
So he's the series owner. I said, how did you think that race went? And he went, yeah, it was absolutely great. And the guy in the bright yellow car was amazing.
Excellent. Well, that's a good thing.
Have a good one, Si. Top man. Well done, mate. Right. Let me get this right. I need to get this right. Where have they all gone? Where's the production kids gone? Where have they all gone? Oh, there they are. Right, I need to get these guys right, because I forgot what order they were in. Right, Louis, you won, didn't you?
Yes.
Top man, your winner, ladies and gentlemen, weighing in an incredible 3 kilos. Louis, well done, mate.
Thank you. Yeah, that was another hot race again, but yeah, just held it, kept on track. I had quite a bad start, actually. Alfie jumped me, and then a couple laps later, when Beckett got spun, everyone just dispersed. I just went into a space, and it ended up being in front of Alfie by the end. And yeah, and then the safety car came out. I was like, am I going to be able to hold him? But I jumped him on the restart, and yeah, just kept it. And I think he got a puncture or something, because he was quite a bit off pace. But yeah, I'm quite happy about my performance.
How difficult is it, Louis, when you have to do the restart, and you know you're second guessing what the tyre is going to be capable of, aren't you? Especially at a fast circuit like this. What goes through your head?
I have like confidence in the car that it's gonna stick, hopefully, and yeah, I just send it, really. Yeah.
And that, my friend, is why you're my fave.
Thank you.
Have a good day, mate. See you in a bit. Louis Hounsell, what a guy. Alf, how you doing, lad?
Not too bad.
Have you got taller through that race?
Oh, I might have done. I'm always growing, me.
Are you happy enough with P2? Is it good weekend? Should you have won? What do you reckon?
I'm chuffed with P2. Obviously a win in race 1 as well, and my teammate comes second in race 1. Won that race as well, so a Jenkins race prep 1-2 all weekend is great for the team, great for the championship as well. So,
Top man, I don't want to stop interviewing you, but I have to go now, so I've got shoulder fade.
No worries.
Cheers, boss. See you in a bit. Right, Marky Hughes. He was a great striker for Manchester United back in the day, but here he is on the podium.
Again.
You've had a great day, mate.
I am absolutely chuffed to bits. This never normally happens to me. I know, again, it's because Dave's not in there. Dave's an unbelievably good driver, but when the safety car came out, I was like, well, I've got a bit of a chance here. And I think Alf Jenkins was really struggling. I don't know if he had a steering problem or something. And I got a really good run at him. And then sort of the old person in me said, sit back, you're going to be third, let's just deal with it and get through the rest of the race. I knew my brakes were going as well, so just sort of ebbed it out through the rest of the race.
Top man, it's been cracking to see. Well done, mate, and enjoy your podium champagne.
Again, yes, thank you very much. Cheers.
Nice one. Right, okay, it's back to you guys.
Guy in the podium area. Thank you, Paul. Great stuff as always, and fantastic to hear from the podium finishes there after what was another frenetic round of the Milltek Sports Civic Cup. Well, that's it from our live action here from Castle Combe. Thank you very much, everyone who's been tuning in throughout the day for the Civic and TCR races. It's been one of those days that we won't forget for quite some time. Some really special results, some dramatic racing, dramatic finishes for sure, and we're looking forward to doing that all over again in the very near future, because we will be back out racing at Donington Park 29th of August for both the Milltek Sports Civic Cup and the TCR UK Championship, the penultimate event of the TCR Championship, with Chris Smiley and Isaac Smith now virtually neck and neck in their what looks like two-way fight for the championship crown, and then we're back at Snetterton again in October for the final round, so be sure to join us at Donington. 29th of August is the date for your diaries, with qualifying and the races once again live on the shorter national layout at Donington. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us here at Castle Combe. It's been a stunning day, glorious weather, big crowd, fantastic racing. We've enjoyed it, and we're looking forward to being back again at Donington in a few weeks.